Well, good morning, everybody, and thanks for coming to the City Hall this morning. I'm Rob Perry. I'm the Chief Administrative Officer for the City of Albuquerque, and I'm going to be standing in, basically, for Mayor Barry, who is probably on his way. He's coming from another meeting that he kind of got called away to. But I appreciate everybody coming down today. And today's celebration is something we do every Friday, and we've done it probably over 100 times. And today's story, is really on the brink of the weekend prior to 911's 15-year anniversary. So, it's special to, I think, all of us because it's a great story about people helping people. And today's Friday's Heroes is going to involve three groups of people and one great citizen that we're really proud and love very much that's the center of this story. So in attendance today is Andrew Garrison, Nick Orrin, Bobby Atencio from Albuquerque Isotopes, which is what we believe the greatest game in town. It's the summer time out at Isotope Park, and it's a great community spirit that gets behind those games. We also have folks from Albuquerque Fire Department that are integral to being today's Friday's Heroes. And with us are Adam Arvizo, Mike Pertelli. We also have folks, paramedic driver Jose Gomez, Justin Baca, Salomon Gonzalez is with us, paramedic Casey Duray, driver Matt Wolf, and then we have Albuquerque Ambulance folks with us, Colton Dean and Jason McKinney. Chief Downey's in the back of the room, so is Assistant Chief Green, Kurt Kruperman from Albuquerque Ambulance. So today's story, you always wonder, when you go to work, if you're going to be another boring day, or maybe you may have the chance to be the most important person in the city of Albuquerque. And today's story, a bunch of folks had the opportunity to be the most important person in the city of Albuquerque. And it starts by recognizing these folks I talked about. On the morning of May 17th, our good friend here, who decided to come visit us and say thank you to a lot of these folks, is Willie Miera. Willie had moved here, I think, back in 1969, I was told. Yep, and has the perfect job at Albuquerque Isotopes Park as an usher. Not only is he an usher, but he has the best seat in the house. He usually gets to sit right behind home plate, from what I hear.
14 years.
14 years, that's awesome. So back on that fateful day, May 17th, Willie was having some bad feelings, and he decided to drive to work at Isotopes Park like he's done so many nights in the past. And everybody that's been out to Isotopes Park knows it's probably one of the friendliest, safest, family-oriented places in the world. Everybody that goes there is in a good mood, very professional, incredible attitude that's displayed by all. It's a great place to be. Willie started having chest pains, and as soon as he arrived at work, his co-workers from Albuquerque Isotopes said, "Willie, we got to check you out a little bit and get something to get you some medical attention." So his good friends that he worked with, basically, that are with us today, took him, and they escorted him over to our friends from Albuquerque Fire Department. They're on call. They're stationed at Station 2, which is on Gibson Boulevard. It's quite honestly our newest fire station, one of the two that we built 2 years ago. Great professionals over there. They handle a lot of tough calls for service because of their location. One of the cool things they get to do is to work at Isotopes Park, being present at the games. So basically what happened was Willie's family and staff escorted him over to AFD EMTs and our paramedic team. They were always on standby at the park. They could see how serious the pain was, and they started what they typically do, which is providing oxygen and certain medications and begin heart monitoring. What they did in this case was we purchased some life packs about 4 years ago, and they were able to basically take that critical data that's on the EKGs and other things they're hooked up with and transfer that information immediately to the emergency room. So they realized that Willie had a pretty serious arterial type blockage, and they basically got with Albuquerque Ambulance, told them, scoop and run with this guy. You got to get him to the hospital. It's a very, very precarious situation. So they took Willie to the hospital. He didn't have to go into the emergency room. It's basically what we were trying to put together as a seamless emergency medical scenario. And it worked in this case. Willie went right up to the cath lab, found out that 95% of that artery was clogged. And because of that quick action, Willie was taken care of by the professionals at the hospital, our crews, his friends at Isotopes, Albuquerque Ambulance, and he was in the hospital for about 2 weeks, and then he was resting at home. I know you guys are all excited about having him back, even though he does have that best office, so to speak, behind home plate. But thanks to the expert teamwork by the professionals and the rescue workers, the paramedics, the AFD, everyone else involved, Willie's with us today. So let's give a big hand to everybody involved and ask Willie to say a couple of words. Would you like to say a couple of words, Willie?
Thank you, and thank you guys. It hit me as I was coming up over the freeway, and you never know how you're going to react, and your brain is telling you, do this, do this, do this, do this, and the first thing that came to mind, I've been there for 14 years, right behind the catcher. And 10 feet away from me is, I don't want to get emotional, but it's hard. 10 feet away from me for 14 years have been these guys. And I wasn't going to go to St. Joe's or Press because I got the best guys working with me. And I went there, and 1 was there, 2 was there. And I don't know if you know it, but alert phones and that, these guys got them. I don't think it was 10 minutes, and there was a dozen guys there, 15 guys there, 20 guys there. And that's what I did. I went to the best, and I could never thank you enough. And they got me, and they straight to the heart hospital. Their communications were fantastic because at the door, the last time that I knew what was happening, there was 4 or 5 doctors waiting for me. They didn't take me to go get it tested for, are you breathing, do you have blood or anything. They took me straight into surgery. 2 stents. 5 days later, I woke up, and I was in the hospital. So that was it. And like I said, I can never thank you enough, and everybody that was there, because not because John is here, wherever he's at, John and Bobby and the assistants, everybody's been well, a lot of guys make jokes that Bobby don't have a sense of humor. But he told me, take your time, come back whenever you want to. And as I was leaving, he says, hurry up and come back. And so he finally called me after about a month and says, I heard you're coming back. I says, yeah, I'm coming back. And he says, you don't have to. There's been so many volunteers to help where you're at. But come back and just, you don't have to go down or you don't have to anything. Just come back, look at their tickets and walk around like you've been doing for 14 years. Just walk around, do nothing. And but I want to tell you, when it hit me, by the time I got to the park, my kids, I got 3 boys, a girl, I don't know how many grandkids, and one of my sons lives in Anaheim, 10 minutes away from the ballpark. Would you believe that? All my family is baseball. I started playing ball when I was 8 years old, and I've been doing it ever since. That's why I can't walk and being a catcher and everything else. But I wasn't going to pass away, die, or anything on May 17th when this happened. My mom didn't want me there. That was her birthday. And that's the first thing that came. Today's mom's birthday. My family's here. Marty, the one that I was just talking about, he got the news at 12 o'clock, and he was here by 5. Can you believe that? Uncle Sam and his military can do that. He's ex-Navy, and he called him up, and they told him we got a plane going to Kirtland at 12 o'clock, and he was on it, and he was here by 5 o'clock. So you thank everybody. Everybody, it was not enough. I'm still thinking because, you know, we're up in the thousands of our attendance every year, and you don't know how many people know you until something like this happens. Not only from Albuquerque, from the state, people come up to me, Willie, how are you feeling? And everything, all over. And thank you all. Thank you all for being here.
That's
God
great.
bless.
Thank you, Willie. Thank you. I want to take a moment to introduce Chief David Downey from the Albuquerque Fire Department to say a couple words, Chief.
Sure. Thanks, Mr. Perry. It's not very often that firefighters get to see the outcome of their work, and this is exactly how the system is supposed to work in the city. This is the perfect outcome. We have a great relationship with Isotopes, be it EMS, fireworks. We work hand in hand, and it's partnerships is what made today successful. Our partnership with the Isotopes, our partnership with Albuquerque Ambulance, and the system worked. From early intervention by having EMTs at the park to the right ALS care, right past the emergency room and into the cath lab to get the treatment that he needed. Everybody should be proud today. Guys, great work as always. Ambulance crew as well. Everybody in the community should be proud of the EMS system in this town, because this is a great example of how well it can work, and we have an outcome like we do today. So congratulations to everybody.
Thanks, Chief. Thanks, Chief. Well, today, the second part of the presentation is for our Good Samaritans Awards. And we just have a great group of young ladies here today with us that do great work in the community. It's Girl Scout Troop 47. And Dr. Multeri is the troop leader, from what I understand. Her daughter is Samantha Multeri, she's an 11th grader at St. Pius. Samantha? Would that be you?
Yeah.
Hello. Yep. Go St. Pius. My daughter graduated St. Pius. Yep. Sarai Rankin and Naomi. What is it?
Sarai.
Sarai. Okay. And Naomi Rankin and Marissa. Where are you at?
Marissa's over there.
All right. Thanks, Marissa. Ariana Fernandez.
Ariana couldn't be here today.
Okay. And Daisy Dozier.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, young ladies. Over the summer, these girls collectively spent 167 hours creating library and painting murals, transitional ribbons, and other things that are put on the walls of the West Side Winter Shelter. And for folks that don't know, the Family and Community Department partners with one of our community partners to operate the West Side Shelter during the winter months. The goal was to make the space more livable and less institutional. If you haven't been out there, it's actually the older jail that the city of Albuquerque used to have way out off of I-40. And the folks that need the services and utilize the services are usually in a fairly good amount of distress, and there's family situations, the winter weather is impending upon them and the like, and they get picked up and taken out there at night and then delivered back in, and it can be kind of dreary over there, quite honestly. So these girls took it upon themselves to make the space more livable. The girls will try to make family rooms look like bedrooms. They're going to create lobby areas for the men, trying to hide the control room area, which is kind of an area in a jail that looks fairly institutional. And during the 2015-2016 winter season, the shelter was open 124 days. We had, I think, an average of about 230 people, men, women, and children each night. And the city operates that in addition to 6 other shelters. And due to the thoughtfulness of these young ladies, the plain and boring walls were more welcoming and comfortable. And I think this is the kind of thing that, gives you a lot of hope for the young people in our community when they take time out of their own schedule and try to make, selfless contributions to folks in less fortunate circumstances. And I think you should be proud of your involvement with this project, with your involvement with a leadership group such as Girl Scouts of America, with your involvement and your support for this community. I know a lot of you girls go to school on the west side. When I looked at the list of the high schools, and it's because of what you do for our community that gives a lot of people that less fortunate makes a better day. So thank you so much for what you did, what you are doing, and I'll turn it over to Doug now. Mr. Chaplin is the head of the Family and Community Services, and I see the Division Director Heidi back there as well.
Yes. Well, good morning and thank you. I just wanted to come up and give a word of thanks to all of you in the Girl Scout troops. I just really did just warmed my heart so much when I got that email saying, we've been volunteering with the rescue mission and helping out there, and we think we can really make that a much more welcoming place for folks to come out. And so they've volunteered their time, they've transformed it. What you see over there is a series of murals along this very long centered hallway. They're making the entryway a much more welcoming, inviting place. They're going to put up a library so folks can read books. They're going to make the nursery a much more comfortable place with toys, and so the families can get together and actually spend some time together and feel safe in this place. And we're happy that we can offer a shelter during the winter and get folks that are experiencing homelessness off the streets and into a warm place where they're safe. And we've done a pretty good job in making it a safe and secure place, but they've really done a good job in making it a much more warm and comfortable place to spend a few hours there. And I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for your dedication to our community, and I encourage you to continue to do that throughout your lives, and I think you'll really be rewarded for that. So just thank you so much for all you've done. I really appreciate it.
Dr. Volteri, would you like to say something on behalf of the group?
Oh, I wasn't prepared to say anything.
And I apologize for springing that on you.
Anyway, I'd just like to say that I'm really proud of these girls. They've been actually helping out at the rescue mission with the homeless since 2nd grade. When they were in 2nd grade, they sold Girl Scout cookies, and girls make a lot of money selling Girl Scout cookies. So they took 1/3 of their money every year, and they bought toys for the homeless. Then they continued that till they got a little bit older. Then they wanted to actually go and work with the homeless. So they bought toys and they went and they served meals to the homeless. And then when they got into high school, the rescue mission let them actually go out to the shelter, and we started helping at Christmas. And that's when we actually saw what this place looked like. And it was a warm place. It was safe, and it was a good place to get people in off the streets. But it was a jail. It was so sad to put up Christmas decorations in a jail. And after a couple years of helping, the girls just wanted to fix it up, and they said, can we just ask to fix it up? So I sent a letter to Counselor Lewis, and he put me in touch with the city, and then we went from there. So the girls over the summer, as you've seen, these are just one set of pictures from what they've done, but they've finished the long hallway. They put in a beautiful, welcoming lobby. They're going to have an information center for the homeless to be able to see what services are available. And one girl is making a video. There's a beautiful toy room, stuffed with toys and bins that the homeless kids can take toys away from, and that this girl's going to work with churches to see if it can be replenished continuously. And then there's a library where the homeless can actually take the books. It's not just they have to borrow them and bring them back. If they need a book to read on the street, they'll have something to read, something to pass the time with, and it's full of all sorts of books. There's over 1,000 books in the library. So this weekend we're going to finish up the family rooms, try to make those look like bedrooms, and we're going to put in another lobby for the men. And then there are other things we'll do, but that'll have to wait till next summer because these girls have schoolwork to do. But also we had a tremendous support from the families, so it's not just the girls. They could not have done it. The families were tremendous, and there were also friends and other people who contributed, and so it was really a community effort. And I guess that's all I want to say. Thank you.
So we have a couple of pieces of recognition, and we have certificates basically from the mayor for all the young ladies. We also got a little special. Look who's here. There you go, Mayor, right? Yep. We also have 2 biopark passes for each girl as well, and I have a City of Albuquerque pin I'm going to get for you. Yep.
So Marissa? Marissa? Here. I'll say a couple words here in a second.
Please.
Sarai? Thank you so much. Samantha? Thank you. Is it Daisy?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And Naomi. Nice to see you. Did I miss anyone?
And then we have one for the girl that was not able to.
Oh, excellent, excellent. We also have one for Ariana. So would you do that to her as well? Let me say just a couple
Please,
of things. Sorry.
please.
I apologize for being late. This morning was the kickoff of Hispanic Heritage Month in Albuquerque. So we were in Old Town with the community and just kicking off one of the great things in our community, and our diversity speaks to us. And so I apologize for being a little late. Rob, thank you for taking care of this today. And this is a highlight of our week every week, and it's a celebration of us as a community. I'll keep my comments short because I think Rob really did a great job, as well as the speakers here today and Doug. You know, look, we have to think about our future in our city. And as your mayor, I get a chance to meet people all the time. And I get a chance to meet the next generation of leadership in our community, which is what we're celebrating today. And our future is bright. Our future is bright. We're safe because of our firefighters and our police officers, and we've got great young leadership coming up. I'm an Eagle Scout. My son's an Eagle Scout. I'm a big fan of scouting in general. Big fan of the Girl Scouts as well. And you mentioned the cookies, and I think a lot of times people think, well, what do Girl Scouts do? They sell cookies. That's true, but they do so much more. And you're building the foundations of leadership within your organizations, and you're doing good things for people in our community that really need a hand. And it speaks volumes about you as individuals, as young leaders, and I just can't wait to see what you do. You've got bright futures, and I can't wait to see you in the coming years and all the great things that you're going to do. So we're proud of you, and we're thankful. So
Great.
appreciate you. Thanks. Let's give him a big round.